5 signs you are destined for greatness and success. If any of these signs resonate with you, it is a good sign you are well on your way towards success, greatness, whatever those would be for you by your definitions. One thing I want you to do is to let me know which signs resonate for you, to confirm them in the comments when you hear them, and also to hit that like button when you hear one that resonates with you. I would love to hear which ones are actually being applied in your life now. So that's coming up next. Let's go. Hi there, welcome to HeartSpace. My name is Dave. If you're new to this channel where we are creating videos almost every single day to help you live life more in your way. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button or bell icon yet, make sure you do so you don't miss any of the content we release. Also, my course, A Day Well Lived, is still free for a limited time. If you want to get in there, it's a full video course. I put a lot of love and effort into it. And if you would like to get in there, just check out the link in the description and you can get in there for absolutely free. Now, again, we are going over 5 signs you are destined for greatness and success. In this video, if any of these resonate with you, please let me know in the comments. You can even give a little more information about it if you want. And if none of these resonate with you, don't worry. I also go over some ways and some things you can do in order to align more with these things. So let's go, starting in reverse order with number 5. And number 5 is life actually seems really difficult right now. You keep seemingly getting knocked down, but you're getting back up, and then life knocks you down again, and then you're getting back up. And it almost seems like success is continually eluding you. But what you have to understand about the universe is, we are living an experiential existence here. You are a spiritual being in a human body. And from what I can tell, one of the main points of being here is to discover more and more of what you are. And to do that, you need to experience a multitude of many different things, not just the so-called good things, but the so-called bad things. There is no one who is succeeding, for example, who hasn't gone through some form of the dark night of the soul, if you've ever heard that. Dark times where it elicited a lot of growth. And one thing we have to also understand about so-called good and bad experiences, good and bad events, is that the label of good and bad is up for interpretation. It is just the labels we put on it that makes it good or bad. But in reality, it is just an experience. And a lot of times it is good to look at these things that we believe we're getting screwed over for, or at one point we would have a victim mentality about, and to see the side of it that you actually need in your life. For example, there are so many experiences that at the time I would have considered, like, why is this happening to me kind of things? Like, I keep doing it seems the right things, but all these other, this seemingly bad thing is happening. Yet some of those experiences taught me lessons that have helped me way more than some of the good things that have come in my life that didn't come with many lessons. There are certain things where, had I not gone through those things, I would not be succeeding as much as I am now. I would not have my life be the way it is now, but I needed to learn the lesson from so-called bad things coming into my existence, from so-called doing the right things, yet things not coming in right away. I needed to learn those lessons. And without those lessons, I wouldn't be able to get to the next place. Dr. Wayne Dyer had a really famous quote, or not famous quote, but a quote I really loved. And he talked about how a lot of people want to get somewhere else. And it's the reason why they never get there, because they never appreciate their current situation. And if you can't appreciate your current situation, you're not going to appreciate whatever is to come next. And therefore, you are not in the place you're not in a place where you can actually get more. Because you have to actually stop playing the game of more for more to come in. And we have other videos that cover that idea if you want more details on that. But essentially, don't curse any of the experiences that come in, because everything happens for a reason. There are no coincidences in the universe. So if you are doing things and it seems you keep getting knocked down and you keep getting up, keep going. Because the fact that you keep getting up, the fact that you don't let it deter you and knock you off trying to follow whatever you think your mission is, your heart, whatever else, is a huge sign that you are going to be successful. It is a huge sign that greatness is on its way to you. Really, the only people who don't become successful are the ones who give up. The ones who don't go after what they truly want, they get knocked down and they stay down. And again, knocked down is an interpretation that whatever happened was bad. For example, I had a near-death experience where, I could have died. And that could be seen as a bad experience. But I look back at that as one of the best experiences of my life, because what happened during that experience, I had a profound spiritual experience from that. And that profound spiritual experience has changed the way in which I live and see the world. And without that lesson, from what could have, many people from the outside could see as oh my God, a terrible situation. Like, what happened? from a physical standpoint. However, to me, I look back at that and go, holy, wow, I'm so glad that happened. Because if it hadn't happened, many people would look at that, but like, wow, man, life's just kicking his ass. But I look at it like, wow, what the lessons I learned from that have helped me for years since that happened. For the 2 years plus since that happened, I have gained way more from that lesson than almost anything else that has come into my life. And there's been other instances of it. That's just a very powerful one for me. That's why I'm using it as an example. It's one I talk about a lot on this channel. So if that is happening, don't lose faith. A lot of times the universe will also test you to see if you really want the thing that you say you want. Because if you just give up after it knocks you down once, so to speak, or a little hardship comes in, it really demonstrates through your actions that you don't want it, really. So keep going and good things will come. Now, number 4 is actually very similar to the last one, but we're going to relate it directly to money. And it seems you're always in a financial struggle. It seems like you just only ever get enough to pay the bills and you're struggling to do that. Or perhaps you even come into a little bit of money, but then you lose it. It goes right out the door, as quickly as it comes in. And this is actually another sign, especially if you're doing right things. Now, this can be happening to someone and they're not doing right things. It's going on in this continuous cycle for a reason. But if you're continually trying to go down your spiritual path and grow and become more abundant in all these different things, this can be something that does happen. Now, what you have to understand, again, is the lesson here, because the universe will never give you what you were not prepared for. It will never, there are no coincidences in the universe. There's nothing that's really redundant. Everything happens in a perfect harmony, in a perfect system, right? And so if this is happening, there is a reason for it. The universe will rarely give you something you are not ready for. So again, if money's coming in, but then you're not able to hold on to it and it just kind of leaves as soon as it comes in and it's just kind of like that, you might want to look at what you're doing that's causing that to happen. Where is the lesson? What is the message right now that the universe is trying to give me? And here's a good example of that. A lot of people, we hear these stories of people who win the lottery, and I mean like a lot of money, like 50 million, $100 million, whatever it is, millions upon millions of dollars. And these people who before that didn't really have any money. And what you hear happening more often than not is the person who won the lottery not only ends up losing all the money, because they don't know how to handle it. They've spent it on all of these different things. Maybe they got pressured into giving it away for certain things. They're easily manipulated. They end up not only doing that, but ending up in a worse situation than when they began. They end up in a worse situation than before they won the lottery. And there's actually a high suicide rate for people who win the lottery, especially at that level. Now, why is that? Because they have the money, so surely they're abundant. But it's not true. They're not. You will not receive wealth in a vast amount or in an amount where most people would consider it like, oh, I'm wealthy, until you can honestly identify with that from an authentic place. And so if money's coming in and also leaving as quickly as it comes in, or you continually struggle, because there is a part of your identity that still sees yourself as someone who is going to struggle with money. There is still a part of you that is attached to that, and you have to let that go. And that is why the universe has not brought you money, because if it gave you that abundance while you're in a lack mentality in whatever way, it's only going to lead to things like the person who wins the lottery who's not ready for it, their life ending up worse. Because again, if you give someone a lot of wealth, the physical equivalent of wealth, money, to someone who has a poverty mindset, it's a mismatch and they will lose it all every single time, unless they develop a wealth mindset while they have it somehow. It's not going to work out, because they haven't really done anything to earn that money. They haven't gone through, again, the lessons they need to go through, like we talked about in the first one. They haven't developed the wealth mindset, which attracts the physical equivalent of wealth energy, abundant energy. And so if you are seeing these things happening, it's okay, because you're doing the right things, which is a part of this sign. So keep going, keep doing the affirmations, keep trying to impress wealth on your subconscious, keep going in that regard. But also understand it wouldn't be happening for no reason. It's not you getting screwed over. It's not any of those things, right? It's a sign to keep going, keep the faith, understand that you are these things, you are abundant, you are wealthy. And really, the moment your identity becomes of someone who is wealthy and abundant, and you fully, genuinely are that, and realize you are that, even when physical abundance isn't there and physical wealth isn't there, that's when things will start to flow a lot more clearly, a lot more without struggle. And that will be the moment. But seriously, keep going, because if you do go through this phase and you are on this path, which you probably wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't, it is a good sign that it's on its way. There's just a few little things you probably need to go through. A little more time of listening to the affirmations and doing the stuff. I mean, really, you should be doing it, continuously. But keep going. Don't let it deter you. It's really like that analogy of the seed. So many people give up before the seed actually pops up into the surface. So many people, it's like right on the surface and they give up just before it goes. So keep going. Don't lose the faith. Good things will be coming if you stick with it. So number 3 is a very common one, and it's one that I went through. This is probably one of the most vivid ones that I went through personally, and it's that others don't seem to be able to relate to you, or everyone seems to be just having differing views. They don't see the same vision that you see. They're almost even discouraging you, even downright being mean to you when you talk about that you're abundant and you have this vision of your future and all of this different stuff. And what you have to understand about this one is you are someone who is on a self-growth journey, a conscious, aware of the journey type of experience. And the majority of people, although in this time of the Great Awakening, a lot of people are gaining this awareness, but it's still the majority of people are not going on the same journey as you're going, and so they don't have the same perspective. They don't interpret events and certain things in the same way that you do. And so a big trap, I think, a lot of people who start out on this journey early, who have had these great epiphanies of like, wow, everything actually is abundant. Wow, I am so powerful. Because it's not in your nervous system yet. It's not in your subconscious yet. It's just an idea you're gaining excitement about. A lot of people will go off and tell others about this, their friends and their family who were, there before they had this shift. They'll go tell them about it and they'll be seen as crazy. Or all these people will look at you like you're weird, or just not understand you. You'll have all these people who don't understand you. There'll be plenty of people who do understand you, people like myself, people who make content like this, people probably in the comments here on this kind of place and in other kind of places that are similar. But you're going to have the majority of people who might not understand you. And again, it's just understanding that most people haven't found their way to this level of awareness yet. Not to say that they never will, because you go back 10 years ago and you tell me some of these ideas, and I might even think that you're crazy 10 years ago. 10 years ago, David would think that current David is crazy. How old am I? 28. If 18-year-old David was looking, talking, interacting, or watching 28-year-old David now, chronologically 28-year-old David, I would probably think myself crazy. I would look and go like, what is he talking about? Everything's abundant. Look at all this other stuff that's happening. What is he talking about? Like, we're powerful co-creators. Like, I would not be into that. And that's just because I wasn't at the place in my journey that I am now. And understand there are a lot of people that are not at the same place in their journey that you are at right now. They still have things to go through. Like we said in sign number 1, or I guess number 5 technically, there are experiences you need to go through to gain this level of awareness. The universe is going to lead you to those experiences. And so if you have a lot of people, especially the mainstream people, majority people who just can't see it, they just can't see what you see, it is actually a sign that success is greatness, and greatness is on its way, because you are going against the grain, the mainstream. Very few people are happy in the mainstream. Very few people are living fulfilled lives in the mainstream. I would go even as far as to say, I can't think of a single person that is. Now, there probably is, but it's just not a system that really produces happy, fulfilled, spiritually enriched people. Not to say that there couldn't be, and there aren't exceptions to that, but that's just my observation of most people who are listening to mainstream advice or thinking like ideas like this are crazy. And so, if that is happening to you, understand it's okay. I know it can be very harsh in the moment. And, I had to go through many times where I had people who were downright being cruel because of the ideas I held. I had to go through those experiences, like I said, in sign number 5, to get to where I am now, where that doesn't really bother me. It's like duck water off a duck's back, as they say. I keep reversing sayings, like it's interesting. Duck off a water's back. But I had to go through that. And understand if there are people like that in your life and you're noticing that a lot, you're excited about all this stuff and they just completely reject it, deny it, or even criticize you for it. It's actually a sign that more success, more greatness, more wealth, all of these things are actually on their way to you. And the most important thing you can do is don't get deterred by these people. Find the groups that will encourage you, empower you, and lift you up. Don't go towards the people that are trying to pull you down. If you have any energetic anchors, as I call them, in your life, cut those off as fast as you can, right? Again, doesn't mean you have to completely not be friends with someone. That is something you can also do. But it also means, surround yourself with the energy that helps you to be your best self. Surround yourself with the people who are going on a similar journey. Surround yourself with the people that will encourage your growth, not discourage it. And again, if this is happening to you, understand it's actually a good thing. It's very, very normal. And don't take it too seriously. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep the faith on the path that you're going down, and good things will happen. So number 2 is very simple, and we won't spend too much time on this because it's very self-explanatory, but you have a burning desire to succeed. You have a burning desire to move into an identity of someone who is great. And this is, again, not too hard to explain here, because in order to really attract anything, you need to have a burning desire for it. You can't be wishy-washy about it. You have to commit. Through your actions, you have to show that it is a priority. And so if you're like, you know what, I am so committed to my vision, I have so much desire, so much of a burning desire to create these things, co-create these things in my life. And, nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to, whatever it is you believe your mission to be, whatever you believe your heart path to be, you're like, that's going to happen. I'm going to allow that to come through me. I'm going to do the things that my intuition leads me towards, no matter what it is when it comes to this. And I'm just going to go, despite any criticism, despite maybe even any hardships that come in or any of the lessons, I will take them on board. I will work with them, flow with them. I'm going to flow down the river. If a bend comes, that's great. I'm going to surrender and allow myself to go around the bend. I know that I'm just going to do this. I have a burning desire. I'm so excited, and I'm going to allow that excitement to take me further and further down this path. If that's what you have, and you truly, genuinely have that, that is a huge sign. You're destined for it, for success and greatness. If you can cultivate that, if you found what your current heart path is, and it's just like that burning desire in there to make that thing happen. It's not necessarily make it happen from this buy me type of place, but you have a burning desire to do the things that are going to allow you. And there will be many courageous things you'll have to do. There'll be many vulnerable things. There'll be many times you'll have to go through dark nights of the soul and things that go outside your comfort zone. But if you're ready and prepared to do that, and you know that I don't care, I'm going to do it, then, honestly, if you have that kind of mentality towards what you're moving towards, you will be successful. You will achieve greatness in whatever way that is for you. It's almost impossible not to if you genuinely have that burning desire. Number 1 is another huge one, and this is probably the one that will, it takes some lessons to get to this place. And so for even some of you watching, this might be a bit of a foreign idea, but when you truly, genuinely are doing this, it's just like, it's a foregone conclusion. And number 1 is, you'll be successful. You identify already with someone who is successful. You know you're going to be great. You know that these things are coming in. It's a foregone conclusion to you. You know it's only a matter of time. And because you're genuine about that, you're doing the things that you know will just bring in these results. You don't even worry about it. You're not worried, like looking around the corner, like, is my success over there? Is it around this bend in the river? No. You're just doing what your heart is leading you towards, trusting it, letting go, allowing the universe to do its side of the co-creative process. And you know it doesn't matter. I'm going to be successful. I already am successful. I know the physical equivalent's coming in. I'm already abundant. I know the physical equivalent will come in its own way, in the way the universe sees fit. I'm already someone that's love, that comes from love. I know more and more if that's just going to come into my life. It's just going to happen. And if you can genuinely feel that way, not just say it, easy enough to say it, but feel that way and act from that place, again, it's a foregone conclusion that more and more success, more and more greatness, or whatever, again, you want to find that as, is going to come in to your life. And I want to go over one last one with you, so a little bonus one. I guess this is really 6, but we're going to get into the bonus one right now. And the bonus one, guys, is very simple, but it's just that you see a lot of positive synchronicities in your life. You see, positive synchronicities are positive confirmations that you are utilizing the law of attraction, or success is coming into your life, or all of these different things. Again, nothing happens without coincidence. These little synchronicities, whether it's you're seeing, angel numbers, whether, little bits of money are coming in, you have amazing interactions, you see these little changes in your environment, in your reality, these positive things keep happening. That is a very real thing. And if it's moving in a certain direction, a certain energy, so it's all these positives happening time and time again, that means you are building momentum in that direction, in that energy. For example, one of my favorite signs for more wealth coming in is I'll find money on the ground all the time. And I'll pick it up, I'll bless it, I'll say thank you to the universe, and encourage more of it. But again, that is literal money, something that I know I am abundant in, coming to me. Me discovering it, co-creating, finding that money. And again, the universe doesn't know the difference between a penny and $1 million. So I pick it up every time and go, thank you. Because it's just another indicator, positive confirmation that money is coming to me easily and effortlessly. I mean, holy hell, it's just on the ground waiting for me. You know, it's just like coming to me and it's right there. And it's like, hey, I heard you wanted some money. Well, here you go. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, universe. And so these positive confirmations are an amazing indicator that, again, more success, more greatness, more of whatever it is you really say that you want, and what you are aligning with are coming into your life, more and more of that. So that's the last sign I want to give you. I'm going to leave it there because I know we've gone on for a while here. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, if any of these resonate with you, apply to you, please let me know in the comments. And again, I hopefully have given you some information that'll help you to align more with these signs, more with these things, so that if none of them apply to you, you can start doing things that will actually help you to be congruent with these things. Anyway, thanks once again for watching. As always, I love you, and I will see you in the next video.